Welcome back everyone. Today on the show, we are cracking open the latest financial results from Mangalore Refinery and Petrochemicals Limited, or MRPL.
That's right. MRPL is a major player in the Indian energy sector, a subsidiary of the giant ONGC Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, and it holds the Schedule A Mini Ratna Category 1 status. They operate a large refinery complex in Mangalore, Karnataka.
So they've released their audited financial results. What period are we looking at today?
We're looking at the audited standalone and consolidated financial results for both the fourth quarter, that's Q4, and the full financial year ended March 31st, 2025. These results were approved by their board of directors in a meeting held on April 26, 2025.
Audited results? Good. Standalone and consolidated. Let's start with the standalone picture for the full financial year FY25 versus FY24. How did the top line look?
Okay, looking at the standalone numbers for the full year FY25, revenue from operations came in at 1,09,277 crore rupees. That's actually up slightly compared to the 1,05,223 crore rupees they posted in FY24.
A slight increase in revenue for the year. What about profitability? Let's talk EBITDA and profit before tax.
Right, this is where the story takes a sharp turn. Standalone EBITDA for FY25 was significantly lower at 2,469 crore rupees, a huge drop from the 7,893 crore rupees in FY24. Consequently, profit before tax, or PBT, also saw a massive decline, landing at just 113 crore rupees for FY25, compared to a much healthier 5,521 crore rupees the previous year.
Wow! Revenue up slightly but EBITDA and PBT down drastically. That points towards pressure on margins. What about the bottom line, the profit after tax, or PAT, on a standalone basis for the full year?
The standalone PAT followed the trend. It came in at only 51 crore rupees for FY25. Compare that to 3,596 crore rupees in FY24. A very significant decrease.
Okay. A tough year for profitability despite higher activity. How did the final quarter, Q4 FY25, look in isolation compared to Q4 FY24 on a standalone basis?
The fourth quarter reflected the full year's pressure. Standalone revenue for Q4 FY25 was 27,601 crore rupees, down from 29,190 crore rupees in Q4 FY24. Standalone EBITDA was 1,168 crore rupees, less than half of the 2,361 crore rupees in the prior year's quarter. PBT for the quarter was 584 crore rupees versus 1,766 crore rupees, and standalone PAT was 363 crore rupees, down sharply from 1,137 crore rupees in Q4 FY24.
So, pressure across the board in Q4 as well. Now let's bring in the consolidated results. How different are they from the standalone figures? I believe they have a joint venture.
Yes, they do. The consolidated results include their share from the joint venture, Shell MRPL Aviation Fuels and Services Limited, which is accounted for using the equity method. However, the impact seems quite minimal on the overall numbers.
Okay, so what do the headline consolidated numbers look like for the full year, FY25 versus FY24?
Very similar to standalone. Consolidated revenue for FY25 is essentially the same at 1,09,277 crore rupees. Consolidated PBT was slightly higher than standalone at 119 crore rupees for FY25, compared to 5,523 crore rupees in FY24. The consolidated profit after tax attributable to owners of the company was 56 crore rupees for FY25, down dramatically from 3,597 crore rupees in FY24.
And the all-important earnings per share, or EPS? That must have taken a hit.
Absolutely. The basic and diluted EPS for FY25, based on the consolidated results, was just 0.32 rupees or 32 paise. That's compared to 20.52 rupees in FY24. A massive drop for shareholders.
That really puts the profitability decline into perspective. You mentioned margin pressure. Can we quantify that? What drove this?
The press release provides a key clue: gross refining margin, or GRM. For FY25, the GRM was $4.45 per barrel. In FY24, it was significantly higher at $10.36 per barrel. That drop in GRM is the primary driver behind the reduced profitability, despite the company achieving its highest ever crude throughput of 18.044 MMT, or million metric tons during the year.
So external market factors hitting the refining margins hard, even with record operational performance. What about their efficiency efforts?
They did highlight some positives there. They achieved their lowest specific energy consumption since their Phase 3 commissioning and commissioned new units like a bitumen train and a PFCC wet gas scrubber, which might help efficiency going forward. But clearly, these couldn't offset the massive GRM decline in FY25. Standalone EBITDA margin for FY25 was only around 2.26%, down from about 7.5% in FY24. The net profit margin nearly vanished, dropping from around 3.4% to about 0.05%.
Were there any exceptional items clouding the results?
No significant exceptional items were reported in the main P&L for FY25, making the comparison relatively clean and highlighting the core operational profit decline.
Let's touch upon the balance sheet. Any key takeaways from the standalone perspective as of March 31st, 2025?
On the standalone balance sheet, total assets stood at around 34,399 crore rupees, slightly down from 35,399 crore rupees the previous year. Total equity was 12,934 crore rupees. Total borrowings, combining current and non-current, were around 12,867 crore rupees. The debt-equity ratio, as per their disclosure notes, remained fairly stable at 0.99, same as the previous year. So leverage seems under control.
And cash flows? How did the company manage its cash during FY25?
Looking at the standalone cash flow statement for FY25, cash generated from operations was significantly lower at 1,878 crore rupees compared to a much stronger 7,051 crore rupees in FY24. They invested heavily with payments for property, plant and equipment and intangible assets around 990 crore rupees. Cash flow from financing activities was negative 938 crore rupees, mainly due to net repayment of borrowings. The net increase in cash and cash equivalents for the year was minimal, just 0.37 crore rupees.
Any dividends declared or recommended?
No, the board has not recommended any dividend for the financial year 2024-25. They did pay a dividend in the previous financial year, which is reflected in the FY24 cash flow statement.
Now, usually we dive into segment performance. How did MRPL's different business segments fare?
Actually, according to Note 6 in their financial results, MRPL has determined it operates in a single reportable segment, which is petroleum products. So there's no breakdown into different segments like refining versus petrochemicals in the financial reporting.
Okay, that simplifies things. So the entire performance we've discussed, the revenue, the margins, the GRM impact, applies to this single petroleum product segment.
Exactly. The physical performance metrics they highlighted in the press release, like the record throughput, higher distillate yield, increased production of specific products like ATF and benzene, all pertain to this single segment's operations.
Got it. Any other significant notes or events mentioned in the reports?
They did mention the appointment of a new secretarial auditor for the next couple of years. They also assessed the impact of the Russia-Ukraine war and US tariffs and concluded it wasn't significant on their asset-carrying amounts.
Crucially, what did the auditors say? Any qualifications or concerns raised in their reports for either standalone or consolidated results?
This is important. For the standalone financial results, the joint auditors YCRJ and Associates and BSJ and Associates issued an unmodified opinion. This means they found the financial statements give a true and fair view in line with accounting standards. There's a standard other matter paragraph noting that the Q4 figures are balancing figures, which is typical, but nothing that modifies their clean opinion.
Okay, unmodified on standalone. What about the consolidated results?
For the consolidated financial results, the same joint auditors also issued an unmodified opinion. Again, a clean bill of health overall. However, the consolidated report does include an emphasis of matter paragraph.
An emphasis of matter? What does that relate to?
It relates to the joint venture, Shell MRPL Aviation Fuels and Services Limited. The auditors state that the financial information of this JV was audited by other auditors whose report was furnished to them. Their opinion on the consolidated results, insofar as it relates to the amounts and disclosures for the JV, is based solely on the report of those other auditors. They clarify that their own opinion is not modified in respect of this matter. This is a standard procedure when relying on other auditors for components of a consolidation.
Right, so reliance on the JV's auditors, but importantly, still an unmodified opinion overall for the consolidated statements. No red flags like qualifications or adverse opinions.
Correct. Both standalone and consolidated reports received unmodified opinions, which is a positive from an accounting compliance perspective.
So wrapping this up, what's the overall outlook for MRPL based on these results?
It's a mixed picture. Operationally, they achieved record throughput and seem to be managing efficiency well. That's positive. However, their financial performance in FY25 was severely impacted by the sharp decline in gross refining margins, an external factor largely beyond their control. This wiped out most of their profit compared to the previous year.
And the outlook?
Disclaimer. As always, investors should consult with certified financial advisors before making any investment decisions. The outlook hinges heavily on the recovery of refining margins. If GRMs improve, MRPL's high throughput and operational efficiency could lead to a significant earnings recovery. However, continued margin pressure remains a key risk. Their debt levels appear manageable, and the auditors have given clean opinions. The lack of a dividend recommendation reflects the stressed profitability in FY25.
So to summarize, MRPL saw record operational performance in FY25 with its highest ever crude throughput, but faced a dramatic drop in profitability. EBITDA, PBT, PAT, EPS all down significantly due to much lower gross refining margins compared to the previous year. Revenue was slightly up for the year. They operate as a single petroleum product segment. The balance sheet seems stable with debt equity below 1. No dividend was recommended. Importantly, the auditors issued clean, unmodified opinions on both standalone and consolidated results, with the consolidated report noting standard reliance on the JV's auditors.
That sums it up well. A year of strong operations overshadowed by challenging market conditions for refining margins.
Thanks for breaking that down for us. And thank you all for tuning in. Remember to follow us for more financial insights.